Any one sentence that you remember from last class in the chat box. One sentence that you remember. Yes, please. Yamini, Megha, Sara, Soumya, Rupa. One sentence that you remember from last class. Okay, objectives according to Bloom's taxonomy. Good. Yes. Rupa, please switch on your camera. Yeah. Others? How aims are different from objectives. Okay. Types of prior knowledge activity, right? Why active learning is better than passive, right? Very good. Megha and Soumya, do you have anything to share? Okay, I'm just sharing what is my slide. Today we are going to look further into the lesson. So first let us look at what are the different formative assessments that you are aware of. Okay. What type of formative assessments is used frequently in your class or your peer observed class? Why is it used frequently? What is the reason for its use? So think about what are the different formative assessments that you use, why you use it. Okay. What is the reason behind using them? Think about it.
We should give the answer in the chat box.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can speak. It's not an issue.
Okay.
Ma'am,
You
this
can
also
speak.
slightly we have discussed in the last class that about by asking questions, and if you're using the media, then we play like we do like quizzes, Kahoots, and different kind of media how to use. So,
Yes. We have discussed. That is why I'm asking which is the one which is used and what is the reason that you're using that.
To check the students whether they understood our class, to have it's like a test, an informal test, whatever we have done in the class, did the students understood it clearly or not?
Okay. Okay. That's Sarah's perspective. Others?
And if they have any understanding gaps, we fill that up by clearing the doubts. Then only we'll know
Yeah.
whether they have understood it completely or not, and to fill
Okay.
those gaps.
Okay. Those learning gaps, you can fill it up. Very good. Okay.
I was about to say the same thing.
Mm.
Like misunderstandings on the concept, like whether the concept delivered is delivered in the right way or not, or are there any gaps where in their understanding, like what we deliver and what the concept is, that gap.
Very true. That gap, actually overcoming that gap is also very important, right? Good. Yes. Anything else?
So, ma'am, I just want to add in whatever we planned as our learning objective, whether that learning objectives are fulfilled at the end of the class through the formative assessment, then and there only we can actually achieve out that
Sure.
learning outcome, whether it is actually according to the learning objectives or not through the
Very
formative.
true. Yes. Because learning outcome is achieved or not, we can actually check if the formative assessments are done. Okay. Now let us move on to today's assess learning in a lesson using a range of methods. So today, last time we looked at prior learning, objectives, okay, how the connection is built. Today we are going to look at what are the advantages and limitations of commonly used formative methods used by teachers in their classroom practice. Why is it important to assess learners learning at different stages in a lesson? What strategies do teachers use to make classroom questioning effective? How is formative feedback used to improve learning? Okay, so these are the things that we are going to do today. Yeah. So now I'll just share this slide with you. You can start working you can take any two, okay? Any two you take. Look at the advantages and disadvantages. I've given you a group wise. It's because you can take two members, okay? Two members, and you can understand what are the advantages and disadvantages for this. I'll try and give this table. Not able to. Okay, I'll see if I can put it. You can just look at these. I'll share this. You start working, I'll share the Excel sheet. Okay. Both advantages and limitations you will have to work on. Take any two. Take any two and you can work on. I'll give this as an Excel sheet shortly. Got it? I'll share the link here itself.
But we have to write it down in that sheet only, or we can say also.
You can say, but writing no will give a better idea because I'll share it with everyone.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so that you can start working on it. so that no, you can later write it up.
So, ma'am, we can just make the Word document and okay, later we'll share with you, right?
No,
We can
no,
do.
no. I'll be sharing you now.
Okay, okay.
I'll share you just to start preparing. I'll
Okay,
share
start
you.
again.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll share you the document.
okay. I just want to take two short answer question and multiple choice questions.
Okay, others also can share what they're doing.
I took
It's a
a group presentation, Sarah. I took group presentation and multiple choice questions.
Right. I'm sharing the link in the chat box. You can start working on that. Please go to sheet 2. Sheet 1 is protected. Remember, you have to write advantages as well as disadvantages. Okay. Furthermore, references I'm just sharing so that you can look at them also.
Ma'am, the spreadsheet that you have shared, on that link only we have to write.
Yes, and under advantages and disadvantages. Are all of you able to open the spreadsheet? Yeah, right. I have sent you the other links also, which can give you a lot of. Please keep the sheet. Once you have completed, I will lock it. Keep these links also because you will have to write on like, no, I use different assessments because this assessment does not give me this. So I go for this assessment. That also must come in your answer. That way it has to cover. Okay. Why you use different formative assessments. Advantages and disadvantages are a must.
So, ma'am, in writing the response, we should mention, okay, that also, that why we are not okay using the other type of assessments. That
No,
also
no,
should be
no,
mentioned.
no. The assessment that you're choosing,
Okay,
okay, in
okay,
that the advantages, disadvantages, and how you're overcoming the disadvantage.
okay, okay.
Yeah. You're writing only advantages, huh? You're not writing the disadvantages.
Not able to write anything in that.
Because you have not thought on those directions. That's the reason you're not able to write. I've given you resources, just go through it. Quickly go through it, you will get your disadvantages also.
No, I have pen down in my own notebook everything, but I'm not able to write in the spreadsheet.
Mm, okay.
I don't know
No one
why
has
I'm.
taken teacher questioning. Okay. I saw something written in teacher questioning, but now nothing is there. You type it out in your
I took teacher
doc.
questioning.
Huh?
I'm edit
Ah,
I'm editing it, so I'll just
okay,
post it.
okay, okay. Sarah, what you do is type it out in a text, this one, copy and paste it here. That's it.
Okay, ma'am.
We can do that also. In a sticky note or something, you type it out, copy and paste it here. That's it.
I'm trying to write in that spreadsheet, that link you have shared, but I'm not able to type anything.
You can actually. What you do is put it in the chat box. I'll paste it here.
Okay, ma'am.
I'll give you another 5 minutes and then we will start discussing. Yes, completed. Completed. Okay, let us have discussion. Then you will get more ideas of what exactly we have to look at. Let us now look at the first one, teacher questioning. Caters to individual needs of the students, quick gateway to change plans is if needed on explaining the concept. Okay, any other advantage others can think of in teacher questioning? Any other? I would like everyone to unmute so that you can speak. Soumya and Megha, I can understand that you are, but at least know answer to some questions so that we know that you are in the class. Yes, others? What are the limited advantages? Any others can you think of?
Yes, ma'am. It actually leads to the active participation in the class if the teacher is okay questioning the students
So
on the
keeps
regular
the
basis of the
students
class.
alert.
Yes, alert, active, right. Focused, more focused.
Okay. Right. Alert and focused. Quick gateway to change plans. Yes, it is good. Then when we look at limitations, create certain amount of confusion. Okay. How does it create confusion? I think Yamini, how do you say that it creates?
Ma'am, sometimes certain questions, when we are asking to the level of that learners, okay, so the other learners they get confused on like why, because they might not be exposed to the concept, they might not be exposed to that particular topic. Like when we are particularly aiming those children, if the questions are catered to the lower order thinking, then everybody can understand. But what happens when it is catered to the higher order, like trying to make them understand a little more where they can expand the concept, what happens is the lower order gets confused. They, the chances of them getting confused is there, which I experienced.
Okay. Okay. You're saying that um,
uh,
I would prefer it to put as teacher bias may set in.
yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes.
Teacher bias, because bias is a very important word when it comes to like what you wrote, the second one, it's correct. Okay, because it's a teacher control.
Yes.
See, teacher bias will set in. It can be in the control of the teacher or it need not be in the control of the teacher. For example, I know that this particular question this child cannot answer. Now that's a bias, isn't it? I'm setting a bias for it. So teacher bias sets in. Learning is completely controlled by the teacher. And here it is based on individual students and not for the entire class. Isn't it? That becomes the major disadvantage because you cannot engage the entire class because generally questions are individual focused. Okay. So when one person is answering, others may relax. So that becomes the problem here. Now let us look at the second one, direct observation. Allows teachers to assess students' behavior skills, participation in real time, good. Provides immediate feedback to the teacher and scope for instant correction, correct. Helps the teacher understand the students' practical skills and collaborative skills, yes, this can be observed. Now here, what is that cannot be observed? Every student equally in a large class, yes, cannot observe. That is true. Okay, that cannot be done. Next is time consuming method if detailed observations are required. It's a very time consuming process if detailed observations have to be written. That's correct. Okay. Another thing here also, if you notice, teacher can be partial to some students. Okay. So here again, there is an observation bias so that fairness and validity cannot be measured in observation. Okay. See, for example, no teachers may judge one student with a tough question. Oh, he is not able to answer. But it may now she may judge another student as excellent based on an easy question or a knowledge level question. Okay. So fairness and validity are something that cannot be used or can be judged using observation because it will not give the correct scope. One more thing is because the teacher is observing, the student can be doing things. As soon as the teacher's attention is diverted, he may not be actually the person whom the teacher has judged. So that also can creep in. Next, short answer questions. Why we are discussing this? Remember, when you're setting your assessments, you have to see that you will be focusing, you know the disadvantage and say that I know that this creeps in, so how I am going to look into it. That must be there. It is easy to respond for learners quickly. It saves a lot of time in the class and all the learners can be assessed in allotted time duration. Right? Correct. It is very time bound. So it's easy. Deep understanding cannot be judged in short answer type questions. Very good. Learners will be losing marks, okay, if they are committing mistakes in the answer. Okay. There is no scope for elaboration of their understanding. Creative skills writing cannot be improved in short answer type. That's also correct. Okay. So you can't, for example, definition, you can do it. But to reason out a short answer may not be working out because the child will have to put in whatever is their understanding. So that takes a little bit of elaboration where short answer may not be fetching well. Next is it becomes short answers become more of a summative. Okay, because there is no scope for immediate clarification of their idea. It's a written evidence, isn't it? So the teacher has to evaluate, and the time for teacher evaluation will be more in this case. You understood? So teacher correction takes a lot of time when it is short answer questions. Okay. Next, multiple choice question, easy for learners, very good. Within the time frame they can answer. Teacher can cover a lot of syllabus and overcome misunderstandings with MCQ. Okay. MCQ, where is the disadvantage? MCQ, we do not know whether the student has really understood. It's not time consuming. I don't know who has written, but it's not time consuming because MCQs are easiest for correction. You can have peer evaluation there. Okay, you can have peer evaluation, which is more comfortable in your classroom scenario. But the problem with MCQ is MCQ does not give the 100% confidence that your student has understood and answered. It can be a guesswork. There is a lot of scope for guesswork. Okay, so that will give problems for you later on in your classes. So guesswork can creep in. Okay, for them to discuss, collaborate and answer, there is a lot of scope, though it is an individual activity. Okay, there is lot of scope. That is what we have observed also in our classes with MCQ A, B, C, D. So this method works out rather than their understanding. So that is another important aspect that we have to check. And now one more thing is that with MCQs, now whether they are actually evaluating the question on the choices provided, we have no idea. Okay, though they may read, they may think, there is always like 50-50 chances. They can understand the question and write the answer, or they would just look at what are the keywords and mark the answer and go. So that becomes a big problem with MCQ. But it is the easiest way of getting. Matching block questions. I think no one has worked on it. Okay, we'll come back to it. Last, we will do it. Next, flashcards. It's making learning quick, interactive, engaging. It's a visual learning. Flashcards are more visual learning. So it is very good for the learner because visually they are seeing something. They are able to connect and they can have a quick recall. One is disadvantages. Making flashcards is cumbersome. It's very difficult. Okay, because it takes time and energy to make flashcards. That is the first thing that is needed. Okay, it's very cumbersome because making them is difficult. Yes, it cannot be used for higher order thinking. It is only used for recalling facts. Okay, it can be used to understand complex concepts, but not for working out solutions. It may not be helpful in working out solutions which are more practical in nature. Okay. So that is the disadvantage. Practical skill test also will do. Group presentation. Okay. Peer collaboration, more flexible, right? Because there is a group, peer learning, there is scope for peer learning, discussions to happen. But what is the disadvantages in the team? If the team allocation is not taken care properly, then it will be one person who is doing all the work while others are enjoying. And there is no way that the teacher will be able to check on who is doing what. Okay. It hinders individual learning when one person is only doing the work. So this is what happens when you have a group work. Next, let us look at first practical skill test. What is the advantages? Science teachers. The major advantage of practical skill test is they are able to observe, demonstrate, and they will be able to understand the inferences as an experience. Okay, when they are working out, it is an experience. So it's more under experiential learning. So they will be able to see the results infer and understand and learn. The difficulty or the disadvantage, major disadvantage is the resources must be available, the cost of the resources must be taken into consideration, and the time for the practical activity is also a problem. For example, you may have a small concept which requires a lot of time when it is a practical activity. I explain a flower, take out, draw the diagram, this is petal, this is sepal, everything I can finish off within say 10 minutes. But if it's a practical activity, it may take for me a 40 minutes duration. The same flower activity, I will have to take 40 minutes in order to make the student do it and analyze and understand things. But yes, it will help in more remembering. Only thing, resources must be available and the time it takes is very large. Okay, then the cost associated with that particular test. One more was there, matching block questions. Now matching block questions, here again, when we do multi-matching block questions, okay, students will be able to relate multiple things with the same concept. Okay, it is actually very important for cognitive reasoning and learning ability. But the major disadvantage is creating such block questions take a lot of time. It take a lot of time and effort. Okay. Another thing is, even if one goes wrong, okay, we are very sure that our teaching, it actually gives you a very good feedback on your teaching, but you will have to reteach the entire thing. So it is going to take a lot of effort from teacher to set, evaluate and reteach on multiple block questions. Okay, so multiple block questions, the major issue is creating them. It's cost and time effective. It is going to take, you need a lot of resources, technology awareness for doing multiple block questions. But the advantage is that it actually gives you clarity on whether your student is completely thorough with the concept or not. Second aspect, second disadvantage is with both matching and multiple choice, you cannot assure the spelling knowledge of the child. Okay, there is no individual writing skills. It's only drawing lines. Okay, so you can't no enable or no assure any um, lexicographic skills about the student. So there is no spelling awareness, there is no word awareness, sentence formation, sentence structure is not there. So you will not be able to judge on those areas when it comes to this. Clear? Yes. Any other questions you have in this particular? Because you will have to write. That doesn't mean you cannot give these. You will give this, and what you do to overcome also you will have to write it in your assignment. Okay, right. How to conduct formative assessment? Why is it important to assess? So think, brainstorm and talk about why is it important to assess at every stage of the lesson, because we can have it as a group discussion. Why is it important to assess at every stage of the lesson?
You can write in the chat box, ma'am. Answer.
Yeah, you can write or you can speak also. Please take time, read and then write.
Okay.
Is it important that you have to assess at every stage of the lesson? Yes?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
First in the beginning, because we need to check the prior knowledge of the students,
Very
that whether
good.
they
Yes.
know about that particular topic something or not, so that we can start our lesson in the beginning.
Yes.
Megha and Soumya, could you please turn on your cameras, please? We are not receiving any responses from you, and it is important for us to know and understand if you are present in the class. Thank you.
Yes, others. Yeah.
Jeevni, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, Megha.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I have some family puja today, so that's why I was not turning on the camera.
Yeah.
So after some time, I will again turn it off, ma'am.
Yeah,
And
because for a program leader, it is important to understand whether the candidates are responding to her questions or not. Otherwise,
yes,
we'll be clueless, right, Megha?
yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
that's our prime concern. And
yes.
Soumya, I understand that you have some, medical issue, but
Hmm.
if in both of you can, respond to the questions posed, it'll be
I,
great. Thank
I
you.
I was doing it, ma'am. The spreadsheet which ma'am shared, no, I
Yeah.
was just
No, it's
replying.
all for your benefit, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You're all
Yes,
adults. We don't need to repeat it again. I
yes,
understand, but
yes.
just please take care.
Sure, sure, sure. After some time, I will be joining from the mobile phone. Ma'am, please allow me again.
Sure.
Yeah, ma'am. So we need to do the questioning before to just activate the prior knowledge of the students, and during to just check their understanding, that what they are, whatever the teacher actually teaching in the class, whether they are getting that topics in a way.
Very
And
true.
after
Yeah.
we need to after whatever our topic is there, if it is complete on time, uh, right, so it just help us to review and just practice whatever it's being done. We have to do the review of that in the form of the formative assessment or questioning whatsoever is being taken.
Very true. Yes. So in the middle, why are you doing it? In the middle.
Yes, ma'am.
Um,
So in the middle, we are going to check their understanding, whether they are on the same page or not.
mm,
Oh,
mm.
means that they are actually focusing on whatever the flow of the classes there, whether they are in that flow or not. Presence of mind are there in the class, they are mentally and physically, in both the ways they are present in the class,
Very
so to
true. Okay.
take their understanding.
Is it only for Rupa? Don't answer. Is it only for presence? Rupa's part is over. I want others to answer.
No, ma'am. It is even for if there are any gaps in the learning. We are explaining it from one point of view. Whether the child is able to get the same thing back is also one of the reason.
Okay. Same thing. Can it be only limited to that? Can it be only limited to that? That is whether they are able to understand to what extent we are teaching. Should it
No,
only be
to
limited?
remove no, to even to remove any miscommunication that the child is not able to understand the concept what we are explaining. If there is we are explaining in like for an example, there are two apples, but there is red apple and there is a green apple. So we are explaining about the red apple, but he's thinking it's about the green apple. So that
Ah,
miss.
yes, very true. Very true. Yes.
It gives us if everybody in the class is catching up or not, or if there is anybody that is actually not following, that the little assessment gives us to concentrate on those children who are not following.
Very true. Very true.
And ma'am, it will happen sometimes that we have asked somebody a question and that person didn't understood it, and then we move on forward, and then sometimes there will be that student will be still stuck to the same point. And the class
Very.
is moved on, but he's still thinking about the previous questions. For him, that was not clear. So while asking the questions, even if there will be some students who are shy to get up and ask the questions, by asking questions and the other person answer it, it might be that this person who was stuck already got the answer.
Ah, ah. See, when individual experiences come together, it gives them a lot of happiness. But if individual experiences are not helped, then that will lead to the learning gap. So when you're testing also in between in your lessons, like I can give you a very good example from Max teachers, they teach thinking that all the students are listening and understanding. But as you practically saw, that teacher questioning can be limited only to few students. The checking doesn't happen. As a result of which, this fellow, he is still hanging with what is fraction. And now what happens? Somehow he learns or no, does a rote learning of the numericals in the textbook, goes to 6th class or 7th class, where he is getting higher numbers in fraction, addition, and subtraction. He gets stuck there because how to do it he has not learned. Okay, with single digit he just mugged it up and wrote it. Finally, he is not able to give answers to what exactly is happening because the initial part is blocked. It's not happened.
Basic
Okay.
foundation is not done properly. Basic
So the same thing happens with English also. Okay, they don't understand adjective, they don't understand what an adverb is. Basic. In the primary classes, it was only treated with 4 or 5 examples. The same was repeated in the exam, the child wrote clear. But when it comes to higher classes, we talk about no adjectival phrase, adverbial clause. They go haywire because
language techniques,
uh,
ma'am. I just want to give an example. Yesterday, I was just teaching the language techniques. So I just asked the students to just identify the adjectives and the adverbs in the extract because these comes under the language techniques. So many of them were just struggling that where is the adjective and the adverb in that particular extract. So that is the basic foundation. So I just asked them how to identify the adjective and the adverb from the beginning, what is adjective, what verb, so that they can actually identify in the extract. That
So
is the
this
basic knowledge.
this yeah, definitely leads to a gap. So that means that that gap has already crept in, and now we are again building on top of it. So it is not going to stay there because the foundation is not there. Only the building is hanging in the air. So unless until he gets the same example what you taught in the exam, they're not going to answer. So this is a practical problem that every teacher is facing. I'm not going to say this is only with higher classes. Even in grade 1, if the teachers in the kindergarten have not given them a proper base in number and alphabets, they will not be able to connect the sound with the alphabet, and you will be struggling there. So that is the reason why we have to do this assessment at every stage of the lesson. Okay. Now, in order to do that, your lesson must have a proper connection from the start to the middle to the end. Okay. That is coherency. Okay. How do you think you can build coherency in your lessons? How can you build coherency in your lessons? Remember last week's lesson plan? Okay, can anyone share and show how exactly coherency is built? Because once we finish coherency, we'll go to the formative assessment part of it. Okay, you can take it out. We'll have a 5 minutes break and come back. It's 10:30. 10:35, we will join back. Okay, 5 minutes break and come back, and we will discuss on coherency, then move forward. Okay.
Okay, ma'am, can I say?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So coherent means it have to be clearly sequenced. Like for an example, when we are teaching, we first cannot teach a new information and then relate it to the prior knowledge. We first have uh, the we first we first have to have the uh, we first need to make ask the questions in the assessment about their prior knowledge, clear all the gaps whatever are there, and then based on that prior knowledge we are giving them the new information, the new lesson, so that the bases are very strong. So this is a smooth aligning of the events is coherent. We cannot jump from one thing to it have to be very smooth transition from one topic to the other topic to the other topic by proper assessment, by proper joining the dots between the prior knowledge and the new information, so that the base and the foundation is strong for the children to have a hook on the topic.
Very good. Very good. Yes. Okay. Can anyone share the lesson plan so that we can clearly see the example of the coherency? Last week's sample lesson plan.
Ma'am, shall I share?
Yes.
Megha ma'am is sharing. Okay.
Yeah, Megash.
Ma'am, just a minute.
No, this is not the one now. Megha, your
I'm
sample
sorry,
lesson.
sorry. Last sample lesson plan. Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, this one, ma'am.
Okay. Now, go down. Okay, now the first one is she has introduced the concept of acid, alkali, neutral substances. Okay, then she has started with pH because acid alkalis will start with pH. Look at the topic and the content. Okay, next pH scale that she has taught. Then learners through indicators. Okay. Now my question to you, Megha, is how do you connect pH with indicator?
There is an universal indicator which has a range of 14 colors, 0 to 14. Based on the pH of the solutions, means whether it is an acid or alkali or neutral, the color changes will take place, which we have to match with that pH scale.
Okay. Okay.
So it will help students identify whether the solution is an acid or alkali or it is neutral.
Very. So you have a universal indicator chart and you're going to help the learners understand how the changes happen. Can you go down? Okay. Okay, fine. Now, let us look at the objectives and link your activity. How many? Okay, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Don't write the 0 to 5 minutes. Write
Okay.
it as 5 minutes, 10
Hmm.
minutes,
Okay.
15 minutes, like that. Okay.
Sure,
Okay,
ma'am.
in your lesson.
I'll
Can you just go up? Now look at the Objective. Objective first one is define. Where is that taken care in your lesson plan?
Ma'am, here the first one, introduce the concept of acid, alkali, and neutral substances. After that, I'll give the definition of acids, alkalis, and neutral substances.
But when you're saying define, it is not for teacher defining, isn't it? It is for student. So how exactly are you now your formative assessment? Now I'm connecting with the lesson. So remember your outcome lesson objectives or outcome is for the student. So where are they defining acidity and alkalinity? What activity or what formative assessment are you doing to ensure that they are defining?
Okay.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
So that has to come under the formative assessment activity.
Okay.
Okay. One. The next, now 6. That is the reason I said don't keep 6 objectives. You'll find it very difficult. Next, explain what pH. So what formative activity are you doing to reach the outcome? Explain what pH and how it is used to measure. Where is the activity that is related to, or what is the strategy that is relating the learning outcome, this to the learning actually happening in the class?
Ma'am, this
You got
one,
it?
yes.
Now, everywhere, remember, you have put the same formative activity. We'll come to that also. Why should a teacher have a variety of teaching learning activities? Not the same. Okay. So that is the reason I said keep 3 to 4 only, because now every stage your assessment has to be different. Identify you're doing with the indicator. Okay. Now where exactly that clear, that part is done. Interpret the colors of universal indicator to determine the approximate pH of the solution. So here again you should need an activity where they are going to interpret the colors from the identify to the pH of the solution. Okay. So every objective must carry a formative assessment which is going to be assessed so that the learning outcome is reached.
Sure.
Yes, others understood? Yeah. Okay,
So,
Megha, you
ma'am,
can stop. Yeah.
so ma'am, you're saying that when we are writing this time and everything, when we are explaining, it have to be student centered. Like how are we going to do? Then where should we write? How are we explaining?
You should not write that. Topic, what you're doing in the class. No, see, Cambridge does not require what the teacher is explained. They know that you have a qualification, you'll be teaching.
Okay.
They want to know how exactly you're reaching the outcome in your lesson plan.
Okay.
So what is
Just
the
gist
teacher
of it.
activity? You can just write teacher briefs about this topic. So you
Okay.
don't write what are the points that you're going to talk. Briefs about, that's it.
Okay. So that
Okay.
shows that it is a student-centered, not teacher-centered class.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Any other lesson plan you would like to share for an example so that you will have an idea of coherency and how exactly it is linked to formative assessment. Now that we have seen beginning, middle, and end, how that connection has to be brought about.
Can I share?
Yes, please. Can you put it into full screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 1 minute. One minute. 1 minute.
Here again, 1 minute, because you were not there last year time. Use simple quantifiers, approximate, sum, most, all. Understanding cannot be a outcome. Don't use understand. You will have to use very clear, specific Bloom's verb. What do you want them to learn from this? So they have to use. Remember, use is what? What level of Bloom's?
Apply. Apply, ma'am.
No, it's the highest level, create.
Great.
So that means you have to, you can start with identify, quantifiers, represent. So quantifiers from where? Quantifiers, remember, Yamini, SMART you remember. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. So identify quantifiers in a sentence as words which represent quantity of nouns. Don't say something. Quantity of nouns, because you are very specific there with nouns. Quantity of nouns. That's it. Okay. Now, once you've done that, your next objective will be what?
Identify. Then
Now,
come.
before this 1, 2, 3, you have to have a common statement. Students will be able to. Before that, a common statement, students will be able to. Next is understand the use of appropriate, countable and uncountable. So you want them to use, or instead of identify, they will have to differentiate, isn't it? Countable and uncountable. So you can go to the next level of analysis.
No, actually, one. Okay, it's fine. Actually, here they will learn what are countables and uncountables also.
Okay, that is what I'm saying. Analyze the given any component as countable or uncountable, isn't it? First, you want them to understand, because you're talking about a noun, whether that object can be countable or uncountable. Analyze the given components you're going to give them, isn't it? Or given nouns itself, you can write it as given nouns as countable or uncountable. Right? So once they analyze it, then they can start using. Based on countable and uncountable nouns. That's it. Your work is done. Last one is not required. The same thing you've written. Quantifiers based on countable, uncountable nouns in sentences. That's it. Quantifiers based, E is missing there. Based on countable, uncountable nouns in sentences. Now remember, when you're doing with English alone, double check it, because when it comes to English, they are very specific. Punctuation, grammatical mistakes are taken more seriously if you prepare a lesson plan in English. Okay. So the next one is you have circle time. Okay. Then 2 minutes. Routine.
So everyday routine we have where we ask the children what is the current topic that we are doing and what type of text.
Don't go for that, because that will be as if yes, generally it is treated as an area which the teacher doesn't know, and they go and ask the students, what are we discussing about? You
Okay.
understood?
Yes.
So instead, start with an activity that connects to your class, bringing some items and asking them what, or you can start with some story, asking how exactly, which is countable there, which is not countable, all those, that's up to you. But bring in an activity, then you start with, like it can be something like a case analysis for the child. story you bought and you want them to analyze it. Then you start on with your topic of countable, which can be, now identify is done, no? Now,
Yes.
after the story, ask the students what are the things that the character can count in the story. What are the things they cannot count? Now start picking up. You understood?
Okay.
Then start with sharing of objectives. Remember, many of you are taking that very lightly when you're writing your assignment. Sharing of objectives is very, very important. Even in your observed lesson, you must ensure that there is the statement that the experienced teacher shared the learning objectives. Okay, please see to it that that is there. Okay, after that, you can now start picking, asking them for nouns. How will you write nouns when it is countable, when it is not countable? Ask them. Or no, you can give them a word wall, something like that. Ask them. But your activity, remember, should not, because you have given oral, no. One activity formative assessment based on your outcome. You can go from simple to complex. Okay, that can be there. Pick out the word which you write when you are using countable noun. Pick out the word when you are going to use an uncountable noun. That can be given. Then you ask them to use those in sentences and show. Then correction of sentences. Now you can finally ask them to rewrite the story. So it will be two things at a stretch. So that way also it will be beneficial. A simple sentences that they can rewrite from the story. Okay. So that way you will have to go ahead. Remember, don't write too much thing on students working. What students working, teacher instruction is more. You have given, now the students are given extra 30 seconds. No, that is teacher instruction, isn't it? So that comes under teacher activity.
Okay.
Okay, right. So others are clear about coherency now. Coherency, how you have to connect it with your formative assessment. Yes, any questions here? Any questions? Okay. So
I just
remember,
mine. I just wanted to check my lesson plan that you asked me for the
just
currency.
give me a minute. I'll finish this and we can, this particular. So outcome at FA in every stage should be to provide an opportunity to show their thinking and learning, find out what students know and what they don't, prepare for reteaching or remedial based on the performance, ensure that every student is at the learning pace rather than thoughtlessly moving ahead with the curriculum. So nowadays, that is what is happening, isn't it? Syllabus is large, syllabus is large, syllabus is large, and the teachers teach continuously without thinking whether the student has reached that level or not. Okay, that becomes very important. Yes, Rupa, you can share. Then we'll go to the next activity.
You have asked me to change the learning objectives in the last class. So that's
Ah.
what I've done.
You can also do this thing. Learners will be able to start with identify, then
Yes.
explain like that.
Analyze and then create.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Now here, Rupa, this is just, I just want you to understand. Teacher gives students jumble sentences from a paragraph.
Yes.
Okay. Simple, compound, complex, ask them to sort them by type. Now, do
Yes.
you think when you give the sentences, asking them to mark in the textbook, or writing on the board is going to save you time?
Or ma'am, I'll do one thing. I'll just project that on the projector, that paragraph on.
Very good. Now you got understood what my
Yeah,
point is.
yeah,
So
yes,
don't
got it.
you have to see now. Remember, you will have to use digital tools also.
Yes.
But explicitly, we are not going to say about digital tools, but you will have to mention that. So you can use a
Okay.
presentation. Okay. Now
Presentation.
remember, as I told you, objective sharing is important because that is not given there. Your prior knowledge check. Okay,
Yes.
where exactly are you sharing the objectives? That is not mentioned there. Can you see?
Okay. Okay. That is missing. Okay.
That is
And
very, very important. If you don't write it, that means it indicates you have not shared the objective with the student and what exactly the students will do during the objective sharing. That
okay.
must be there. Okay.
Okay.
Next, go down. So
So,
first
ma'am,
one is identify, fine.
how I should change, ma'am? How I should bring change here in the first block?
No, I'm not. See, you will have to share the objectives first. Greet, there is
Okay.
a like starting of your class. How do? You greet the students and share the objectives, isn't it?
Yes, 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 yes.
That must be written
This
there. Then you ask them, yeah.
this usually
Then
on
you
the
have
board.
a recall of the definitions, a quick recall, and
Okay.
then share the text and ask them to identify.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
ma'am. Understood.
next one, show me. Now see, my question is, you have
Yes, ma'am.
already given them the textbook sentences, asked them to identify. Then
Yes.
why exactly are you projecting short paragraph of varied sentence structure? This is from another text.
Yes, ma'am. This is from another text. Or the okay prior knowledge is okay different, and okay this is different, ma'am. Both are
But
different.
no, my question is when they are identifying, after that you are asking them
Yes, ma'am.
to highlight clauses.
Yes, ma'am. Because clause is also very, very important in the
No, the
uh
what is the first one then? What is the identification?
identification is about the simple compound and the compound complex sentences. They should identify.
Okay, so without understanding what exactly is compound complex sentences, will they be able to identify?
Identify clauses, you are saying.
See, you
Okay.
forget about clause now. My question is, okay, if you talk of clauses, without knowing about these clauses, will they be able to identify simple sentence, complex sentence, compound sentence?
Yeah, because it's being taught in the previous class. It's a grade 9 lesson plan. So uh
Now, my question to you, Rupa, you forget
yeah.
about you taught, you didn't teach. My
Okay.
question is, without these clauses, can they identify, without the base knowledge of these clauses, can they identify sentence types?
Mm. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. First they
No.
should know the clauses.
Then you have asked, you have already reached the outcome, then you're putting your lesser level into practice. How is it possible?
Okay, so first I should ask with the clauses. Prior knowledge check should be based on the clauses.
Clauses, then you have to ask them to identify.
Understood, ma'am. I'm writing, ma'am. I'm writing. Okay.
Yeah, see, don't write this as a lesson plan. I'm just telling you how exactly you have to have your coherency.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm just putting it down in the notebook, ma'am, that I
Okay.
should remember this.
Okay.
Clauses
Next one.
first.
Don't write this many. No need your total summary of the lesson. What the teacher will do, what the students will do. Don't write subject there because that they will not be looking at.
Okay.
They need what the teacher will be doing, what the student will be doing. Okay.
I
Next.
should I should not write the examples here.
Student highlight clauses and label that. That should come under student activity, not under formative assessment.
Okay.
You got it? Yeah, go
Yes.
down, go down. Yeah. You have written all the subject content. Subject content is not required. What do you want them to do? That has to be written. Next.
Okay.
And don't change the format because I think the format has been disturbed. The template is disturbed. Don't disturb the template.
Okay. No.
This also, no, you revisit this because no, once they have identified what do you want them to, you want to understand how exactly it is impacting the context, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am. How it
impacting
will
of
build up the
context,
tension in the mind.
what activity you would like to create, think about it. Avoid questioning. Questioning, no, you keep to the minimum because no, that happens throughout the class.
Okay.
Okay, but
Okay.
other activities must be there. What is that? That other activity that you're going to do.
Okay, ma'am. I'll change.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So 30, 35. What is the last one?
Yes.
35 minutes only is done. Exit ticket. Okay.
Ticket.
Okay. Fine. This exit ticket is fine.
Okay, ma'am.
No, don't write all those. Learner
Okay.
selects one sentence and will have to give the brief about the structure and meaning in their exit ticket. That's it. Formative assessment
Okay.
will be exit ticket. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
And ma'am, when we are making this lesson plan, do we have any word counts for this also?
No. No.
Okay.
But be very crisp, write in points what you are going to do. Avoid writing in paragraph because no one likes to read when it is in the paragraph. Your instructions or your key aspects, write it as bullet points so that it's easy to read. Okay. So next we have a poll. Please click on the poll.
We should mark only one, ma'am, in this?
Yeah, only one.
Okay.
Okay. Three members have voted. What about others? Okay, 4. Okay. I'll just share. So this is the one. 3 of you have voted for oral questioning, 1 for worksheet. Okay, 1 for worksheet. So now the next question is, why do you think oral questioning is more comfortable when you do your formative assessments? Why do you
Because
think
it is quick.
Because
It
yeah,
is
yeah?
it's
quick,
quick.
less time consuming.
Less time consuming, fine.
And
Okay.
it's very quick, like we will know the result then and there itself. We don't have to take it to it and correct it later on.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm just I'll just share. So Sarah, you can take the first one. Okay, I'll give this. This one, Sarah. Second one, it can be Yamini. Third one, this part, Rupa. The fourth one, Megha can take. Anyone else have missed? Eleven and 12, Sarah. After that, Yamini. Next is Rupa. The last one is Megha. Read through these pages and we can have a discussion. Yeah. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sarah, you can start your presentation.
Okay, the thing that we have to that I read was about the questioning techniques. The research say that the teacher should know how to ask questions. It's very important because that it can act as an information source also, and it can act as a reference for troubleshooting in instructional problems. In my personal experience, the giving the researchers the are working on how to give the instruction is very important. I myself never. I used to always complain that my class is very noisy. I deal with all social subjects in my classes. So in my school, like there is one subject like Kaka, child against child abuse. There is one in leader in me. So I take all these classes also apart from social studies. So in these classes, it's very difficult to keep the voice down. And then when you told me that maybe the in one of the class you were explaining, maybe the instructions are not giving them clearly, that is why they are not able to work in the progress. So then before going to the class, I started preparing a set of questions, a set of activities that they have to do it. So I just go and write it down, or if I have a sheet, I'll put the proper questions, and everyone pick their own question and start working on it. So it is proper questioning, and it's very important. A facilitator should know how to do that, and it is a skill that we have to develop over the time. As and there are so many training programs also that goes on that on how to give the instructions. So
Very
this
good.
was being shared in the material that I have read.
Very good. I'll just jump to Megha, then come back to others. Yes, Megha, can you? Improving teachers question. Megha, you are there. Okay. Megha, you're still reading? Megha, are you still reading?
Yes, ma'am, I was just going. I noted down some points, ma'am. Shall I present?
Yes, because I thought you were like, no, you said that any minute you can drop out. So I thought I'll give you
Yes,
the
I was
chance
just
and then.
going through and noting down the few points. Okay, so ma'am, my question was how to improve the teachers' questioning techniques. So in the document, I just read that there are four practices through which the questioning techniques of the teacher can be improved. The first one is observation, demonstration, practice, and feedback. And this improving in teachers questioning techniques, basically it will help the students in thinking, engagement, and in understanding. And it will the teachers, if they plan and they prepare the questions aligned with the learning objectives in advance, it will make the students also understand the intention of the teachers asking the questions properly. And the questions should be more open ended, ma'am, like it should be how, what, why type of questions. And the teacher should also give adequate wait time to the students after asking a questions, allowing them to think and process the questions and then come up with their own answers. The questions should be asked logically, means the teacher in the beginning shouldn't ask the complex or difficult questions. Rather, the teacher can start with a simple question and then can move on to asking the different complex questions. Thanks, ma'am, I have gone through.
Very good. Now, the concept of wait time is very important. Wait time for question. Logically sequencing the questions is very, very important. Because sometimes what happens, no, we may think we are asking the right question, but sometimes the words may be misplaced and no, it goes haywire. So
Yes.
that is a problem that happens when it comes to questioning. Yes. Next, Yamini.
Ma'am, I will go in the second break time. I will
Okay.
join from mobile
No,
lab.
I'm still reading. Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Others, Sarah and Megha, you can just go through the other reference that I've given, effective questioning talk. Look at the different types of questioning that can be adopted in the classroom, because that's a very good article on the different types of questioning that can be adopted in the classroom. So don't write only questioning when you are writing, if you are using, but no, see that once or twice you can use, not more than that. There are different methods in questioning that can be used actually.
Yeah, ma'am, I have read. I just summarized in my notebook few points.
Yes, yeah, yes, you can. You can.
So you asked me to read from page 95 to 106.
Wait time.
It is about wait time to simulate the inquiry. So that actually that chapter is about the wait time. Wait time means that is the intentional pause that the teacher should give to the students after asking a particular question, and after receiving the student response also it should be actually given to the students. So here, I just want to give an example regarding my classroom. For example, if I'm just teaching any poem to the students, so I just the poem is based on the storm. So I just ask them that what does the storm actually symbolizes in the poem. So I should give the wait time to 3 to 5 seconds to my students to just think about uh, rephrasing or just answering that particular question, right, ma'am? And the second right, all this is given in the introduction in the document. After that, it is given about a pause, a pause that actually refreshes. So what is the wait time? It is just given in the document, which I just put it down. It is the wait time one which is given, that is the pause after the teacher ask a particular question. And wait time 2 is being given, the pause after the students give an initial response. In both the cases, that wait time is very, very important.
Yes.
Right, ma'am?
Yes.
So I just want to give example. For example, I asked the students that why does that particular writer shift the tone in the final paragraph. If I'm just teaching them to the mystery story, I ask them that why that tone is being shifted in the final paragraph. So I should give the time to the students to just think right about the entire extract. And after that, it is given about the inquiry versus that inquiry versus that inquisition is given. So here it is given, that is the inquisition style questioning about. For example, we can ask rapid fire questions, focus on the correct answer. Next is teacher dominated talk, and the student respond briefly, or they can just guesswork they can do. So that is the inquisition style questioning is there, which is given. The second one is the inquiry based questioning is there. For example, I just asked this student some deep understanding questions, and I should give time to think, and then talk right about that particular topic. And that actually build their confidence, that build up their curiosity in the particular topic. So after that, the next is given that why we use the wait time. Wait time, why means that what is the benefit of that? How it actually affects on learning, right? That it is given in the document. So here that actually encourages the high order thinking, right? Because they just use their analysis, they just deep they just do their deep thinking, right, about that particular topic. So that actually encourages high order thinking in them, and that also improves their strengths confidence, right? And it just led to the better okay quality classroom okay ambience, that they can actually interact with the teacher. We should use the wait time. It is very, very important, and it actually promotes the independent and the reflective thinking also, because we are just giving them time to think and then give the response.
Very true. Very true. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So when we look at wait time, the major advantages are it allows actually processing of the question, allow them to gather the thoughts before responding. There is no urgency to respond. They can sequence and they can respond.
Yes.
Because we always need to think that everyone do
Very
not
good.
respond with the same time. So wait
Yes.
time is very important when we are asking questions. Okay.
Yes. As you also okay practice wait time. You
Ma,
always give us the time to think and just okay put down in the notebook or somewhere. Then we should start our
yes.
discussion. That is wait time.
Discussions or no answers. Yes. Yamini, you're suspending.
Yes, ma'am. So, um, after going through all of it, so questioning is something that is, it is good. It stimulates the thoughts of the children. Questions are motivating and keep students on task. But it is something that it neither helps nor hinders the achievement of the child. That is a
Very
new
true.
point that I've learned also. But it involves the less involved students. It keeps the less involved students into the class. Like it keeps them alert to be in the class. Frequent questioning, oral questioning helps them in this. Even questioning or writing, both. So questioning before instruction, during instruction, and after instruction is something that keeps the learners hooked to the topic, and it keeps them involved.
No,
Okay.
he wants to learn.
I'm sorry, today he was a
No
little
issues, no issues. Continue. I saw him. Okay, yeah, continue.
Next, instructional questions. Something the heard or see, once, after, before, during, or after, these instructional questions can be something related to it's based on the place where we are using before, during, or after. These instruction questions can be related to something which is asked prior, or something that they can relate to, so that they can connect to the topic which they are learning, and it gives a clear understanding of the topic. And the same questioning can also be like higher cognitive and lower cognitive, like higher order thinking questions and lower order thinking questions, keeping both the whole class on task. And the way the questions keep them hooked is,
Very
first way
true.
that we need to keep them is keep all the students on the task. So the question should be aimed in such a way that everybody should be able to think on the question. And phrasing of the question should be clear in such a way it shouldn't create any misunderstanding or deviate from the topic. Provide the wait time. That is one major thing which I have been hearing from all the other also. So provide the wait time for the child to process and answer the question, whatever is asked. And if at all a child is not able to answer you, or his answer is don't know, don't give, you should never give a negative feedback like why you don't know. It should be, again, it should go with a questioning, probing questions which can guide them to the topic and answer their understanding.
Very true. Yes.
So what I understood, it's actually frequent oral questioning is facilitating to the less involved students. It doesn't provide a huge difference in the achievement, but it definitely keeps the less involved students in the class in the loop.
Very true. See, when you're writing your lesson or when you're implementing during a reflection also, though I told you you need not put there explicitly that you're questioning, you can always add in your reflection that during a particular activity where you found a particular student stuck, you were using this strategy in order to get the student involved. Okay, you can always remember now that your theory that you will connect is cons in reflection. So you can connect it in that way and you can always write on that. Okay. So that is a better way of putting your strategy, that not only your lesson plan, you're also using some additional strategy which is related to theory, because on the spot you should evaluate the child and get him involved in your classes. Okay. Okay. Now I'll give you a short break. So 11:36 we will join back. Okay. Madam, just go through that document on questioning talk. See the different types of questioning and what are the different methods that you can adopt in your classes. Okay. Now that you have gone through the material, the different questioning techniques, have you gone through? Yeah. Can you see?
Sudha ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt in between, but I'm not able to join from my mobile phone. So is it because I have joined from the laptop, I'm not able to connect?
No, nothing.
But in my mobile, it's saying web page not available. I'm clicking on the link. It's saying web page not available.
I have to check.
Megha, I'm
Just
just
give.
sharing you the meeting link to your personal window.
Sure,
You
ma'am.
could join.
Yes.
We'll
I'll
do that,
join.
Sudha ma'am.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Look at.
Hear from here then.
No, you can be here. See, Rupa does not. She, for camera, she uses a mobile, and no, the system she uses for documents. So
Yes,
you
yes,
can
ma'am.
join.
The documents.
Can
She's
join.
Yeah.
doing it from the first class in the same manner.
Okay.
Yeah.
But however, since you have some thing
I
back at home
I
also.
cannot on the camera also. That's why I'm saying that it will be comfortable for
Yeah,
me
you
to join
can.
from
You
the
can.
mobile.
You can.
Okay.
I've shared it, Megha.
Yes, ma'am. I'll check.
Yeah.
See, look at the different strategies that you can use for questioning.
Yeah, ma'am. All these are mentioned in the document.
Yeah, I'm just asking you to just go through so that you can use these terminologies instead of using questioning every time.
Okay, simply
That
questioning
is
we can use
within,
these terms.
within an activity, for example, you're having a, say, worksheet activity.
Okay.
So under
Okay.
formative assessment, you write worksheet, and then
Okay.
you when you're writing, learners will be asked to answer questions on the spot. You can write hot seating. In that
Okay.
10 minutes activity itself, you go around questioning. You don't write, the questioning will be there. You write it as
Okay.
hot seating. You can write basketball questioning there itself, in that
Okay.
activity itself. Okay, it can be a worksheet, it can be a basket for this group discussion, group activity, a gallery walk, where you can use all these as some of the activities which you can use for your net. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So this also 5Ws, what you can do is create it as a worksheet and ask the students to prepare a question on 5Ws and ask each other in the group. That also can be an activity that you can have. Now that facilitates more learning than you asking questions and making them answer.
Yes. Okay. That will be a peer activity.
Yeah, peer activity, but they will be questioning each other.
Yes, they'll be questioning each. Rather than the teacher ask, they ask each other. That okay.
So staging a challenging. Now we have answered the first level, try to answer the second level. Now answer the third level. You can have something like big questions, especially when you're teaching the English lesson. Ask them the question, do you think this character's decision is right or wrong? Justify your answer. Finish the story and ask them to come back to that question. That's your big question.
So ma'am, we can use all these terminology in our lesson plan
Yes.
instead of rewriting question.
Anything you can use.
Okay.
Don't use everything, because that
Yeah.
will be only activity, lesson not happening. So see
Yes.
that, yeah,
Yes.
some are used. So you can go through those activities also that is given. So that will give you a better idea. So the synopsis: use more open than closed questions to develop higher order thinking. Ask one question at a time. Don't throw multiple questions and confuse them. If you are giving multiple questions, it has to be written on the board so that the student can pick the answer, pick the question and answer them appropriately. Use a no hands approach, so particular student do not dominate answering. Show respect for all student answers, whether right or wrong, so they feel safe and secure. Ask probing questions to follow up. That is the Socratic type. Now there is a method called as Socratic questioning. Okay, where you ask, first you ask it on a plain level, the simple level. Then slowly your questioning goes into the depth of it. Okay, that's a very good technique for developing critical thinking. Socratic questioning method. Okay, provide sufficient wait time between question and student answering. Encourage students to collaborate before answering a question. Encourage students to ask their own question. So why is questioning done in classes? So the questioning is done so that they develop higher order thinking skills. Okay, main is higher order thinking skills. Now the next one is, after you conduct the activity, whatever may be. Now we have seen about questioning. It can be, now we were discussing about different activities, isn't it? Formative activities. What will you do after doing that particular activity? What is the need to conduct that activity? What will you do?
Ma'am, after doing the formative assessment, we just get to know that what is the depth of knowledge in regards to that particular topic. So whether we should revise that topic again, what are the concepts that we should take up again after the formative assessment, we get to know all these things.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're doing it for what? What is the purpose of doing it?
To know how better the students understand that particular topic, how better they understand that particular topic, what are their shortcomings related to that.
Okay.
whether they actually got to the point which I want them to understand, or I should revise it again, revisit the topic again according to their
Revisit. Yes, very good. That is revisit the topic again. Okay.
yeah.
Then
Evaluate their understanding.
okay. Evaluate the understanding. Like what level are you going to evaluate their understanding? What level are you going to understand their, or what level are you going to look at when you expect an understanding from them?
On the on the basis of what we have taught them.
On the
Whether
basis of what you have taught them, should it be? What is your benchmark that you will consider?
Benchmark is whether they are clear in the process of understanding or not. Is whether they have any
Understanding,
gaps.
Sarah, think back. What exactly are you aiming to achieve in that particular classroom?
The objectives that we have stated in
So,
the
so,
class. Is it
so,
met or not? We have to see that in the end of the uh, chapter. That is what we are analyzing.
right. Now you think about when you are assessing, what exactly are you measuring?
What
What
exactly?
exactly are you looking for? What should be your benchmark?
Are the children ready to understand the objective that is going to be explained in the class? Or
It is understanding the objective or reaching the objective.
reaching the
I'm at the
objective.
end of the
Are children
class.
ready to reach to
It
the
is not end of the class, no, Sarah. Sarah, your aim is at the
Yes.
end of the class.
Yeah.
Your objective is for the activity or that particular stage that you have designed. Remember, we have said
Yes.
4 or 5. So it has to be at end of that activity whether that particular objective or outcome has reached or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for an example, prior knowledge is connected to the new knowledge. So we ask them the questions whether to check were they able to connect that prior knowledge with the new knowledge. So we
Now the
analyze it.
first, for example, let us take first lesson plan. First one was the student must be able to identify.
Yes.
So in your activity, what are we doing? We are trying to connect to that identification, whether they are identifying or not. If they are able to identify, that is my benchmark. Okay, that level they have reached. Next,
Okay.
I will ask them to analyze these sentences in the context. You got it? So it
Yes,
has
ma'am.
to be every time reaching that outcome or the objective that I have set. Okay, it has to relate to that objective or the outcome that is being set.
Yeah,
Okay.
like for example, for first we share the objectives in the class, then we check the prior knowledge, then we connect it with the new information, and then the assessment in the middle of the class whether they have connected the prior knowledge to the new knowledge, and then we identify by it, and then we close the loop by analyzing it.
So even your prior knowledge is linked to the objective, isn't it?
Yes.
So everything connects to the objective only.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood? Okay. Now, there is one more resource that is provided, measurement and assessment in teaching. Can you just read through that and understand what should a teacher do after an activity or an assessment? What should a teacher do after an activity or an assessment? This book again we will be going back when we are doing about assessments, but now just understand the role of measurement and assessment. That is more important. Chapter 2. It's not chapter 1, chapter 2. A role of assessment and measurement and assessment in teaching.
We should read only, ma'am.
Yeah, read and tell me. Any other point have you got?
Okay.
What is that you found it different from others? Your review.
Okay. Okay. In the process of measurement.
Yes. In the process of your formative assessments. There are, I think, about 12 questions that no, you ask yourself. You'll get your answer.
It's having the same chapter. One more time, you have shared such document like this. Validity, reliability. We have done in the previous class that
No, I
something
am
related.
asking you to focus on chapter 2, which talks about some 12 questions.
Okay.
Not about the validity, reliability. Just look at
Okay.
that
Chapter
12
2 only.
questions. Yeah,
Okay.
12 questions. Can you see that?
Okay. I just gone further. Okay.
Here it
Sorry.
is. That's why chapter 2 I said. Can you see? Assessment data.
Sorry.
Then you read this part. Test measurement, what exactly it means, why exactly you're doing it. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am, my just system froze and I was out of the class.
Yeah, no issues. One more minute, and then we'll start the discussions. Yes.
So, ma'am, each and every question we should answer. You should
No,
answer
what
it.
is your understanding?
Okay, ma'am.
Don't answer each and every. Just your understanding.
Okay.
There are certain things that we have discussed. There are certain
Okay.
aspects of those questions that we have not discussed. So I'm just
Okay.
asking you, like, so that we'll cover every aspect of the perspective of why we are conducting formative assessments.
Ma'am, can I
Okay.
share
Yes, please.
my view? Okay, from the points that I have read, I have understood that the first most important thing is that how realistic my teachings are. Like I am, for an example, for grade one student who are in the very early ages, when they are still learning to read and write, we cannot expect them to understand what is noun, pronoun, verbs, singular nouns, and all that. So we have to keep it in our minds that what context we are teaching to the appropriate ages. And then there will be some students that need extra attention, so we have to understand that which needs counselors and what that is there in one thing, and the other which student should be referred to aptitude tests. Like not everyone will be able to do the higher cognitive level skills. Some will be lower. They can only answer, they are good, but they can have only lower cognitive skills, means answering the facts what they have learned in the questions. But their higher cognitive skills, they can relate these concepts to a higher order thinking. So we have to do that. And which student have poor understanding, so how are we making the paper? If when we are making a paper, it should be not for the higher order people but also for the lower, so that the children are able to answer the questions.
Very good.
And when
Okay.
should we take the quizzes? Like small formal assessments are good after the understanding, but when it comes to formally assessing for the formal assessment, we have to give them time to prepare well, so that then they are being scored. Oral questioning in exams is okay, but not as a formal assessment. Should be given proper time so that they go through everything and do the exam.
Right. See, there were many things that we have not discussed, but when we looked at this document and these questions, I think you yourself would have understood many things that no, we need to actually consider when we are looking at a class as a whole. For example, simple thing. See, we divide students into groups. Okay. Sometimes we have to allow them to choose groups. Sometimes we have to allocate the groups. If not, what happens? One group will be super performers. The other group has no clue of what exactly they have to perform. Okay. So this is also a strategy that no one can come into your class and tell this is how you have to do things. It is your observation, you understand about the child, and then you go about doing in your classes. Similarly, you know that the particular child has a writing difficulty. Okay, I know exams have not changed, so they have to write. But the child has a writing difficulty. Now, how well can I help him so that he minimizes his writing, but his answers are visible? Can you understand this part? Miss, how well can I help the child so that he hates writing, I know it, but there is no other way in exams, he has to present his answers. So how can I help him, okay, that he minimizes the writing words, but he is presenting an answer. So that also a teacher only will be able to know it. Okay. So these are different ways in which we help the child through our regular classroom assessment. If you look at the 12 questions, okay, it has a very in-depth meaning in those aspects. Yeah. Anyone else would like to present? Anyone else?
And it's about that also, that what parents should be talk about the progress of the child, how we convey it to the parent, even if we want the parent to work on something before telling them what he have to work. We have to say what he have achieved already in our class and how we wanted to make the progress, not just jumping into the negative.
I think most of you will be aware, no parents, you tell them, sir, he's not writing. Madam, I'm sending for tuition, ma'am. As if that gives a solution. Now, these are things, no, that you will have to take a step forward and no help the parent understand that is not a solution. That is not a solution. Okay. So where is the solution? And when we conduct our formative assessments, answering all these questions, we get our solutions. We definitely get our solutions. Just for reiterating, how realistic are my teaching plans for this particular group of students? Remember in your introduction, those who have submitted assignment, I have clearly told you, please look at the group of students and then write about them, whom you're going to. You can't change your classes for unit 1, unit 1, unit 2 and unit 3. Unit 2 and unit 3 should be the same batch of students. Why? Because your teaching plan is only for this group of students. Okay, the same teaching plan may not work for another group of students. That is why you have to keep your group same. How should the students be grouped for more effective learning? Again, here I told you how exactly when you're doing group works, how you should divide them. Okay, to what extent are the students ready for the next learning experience? This is where your prior knowledge is going to help you. To what extent are students attaining the learning goals of this course? For this only, in between the lesson, you're conducting your formative assessment. To what extent the students are progressing beyond minimal essentials. So this is for setting high aims in your class and seeing that some, at least those who are of higher ability, are exceeding their expectations. At what point would a review be beneficial? That is conducting like a assessment, like slip test, okay, quiz, okay, question and answers. All this, when will it be essential? What type of learning difficulties are your students encountering? So for that, whether you're prepared with your diagnostics tests, portfolio of their work, student conferences, whether you are allowing them to present their learning, Which students should be referred to counseling, special classes, remedial programs? Remember, the teacher is the first person to know whether a child needs a remediation, not the parent. Unless the teacher tells the parent will not be aware of also. Okay. Then, which students have poor self-understanding? They don't reflect on themselves and know where exactly they have to work on. Which school grade should be assigned to each student? Review of the portfolio data. What should parents be told about the progress of their child? How effective was my teaching? Whether they go and apply somewhere. So all these are different types of information that the teacher will be aware of. Remember, all at once you will not be able to do. It takes time. Okay. Now, there are 5 important aspects. I'm not going to go into detail. General principles of assessment. Clearly specifying what is to be assessed has priority in the assessment process. This is where I told you, link it with your objective. Because if you're not linking your assessment to your objective, that means the learning is not going to happen and it will not give you results during your summative. Okay. The second aspect, the assessment procedure should be selected because of its relevance to the characteristics or the performance to be measured. For example, I want to measure whether the student will be able to write numbers 1 to 100. Now the skill is writing and I go for oral testing. It is a mismatch. Okay. Comprehensive assessment requires variety of procedures. This is the reason why we tell you take one strand, divide it into multiple so that you reach the main strand. That is your comprehensive assessment. What you're actually doing, breaking them into stages and reaching the final goal. Okay. Proper use of assessment procedure requires awareness of their limitation. We did that, advantages and disadvantages. Then the last one is assessment is a means to an end, not an end in itself. What does that mean? What does it mean? Assessment is the means to an end, not an end in itself.
It means that we are that topic is ending, but the learning is not ending.
Very true. It is that topic, whether they have learned or reached the objective is what you're assessing, not the end of the learning process. Okay. That you have to keep in your mind always when you're trying your assessment. Okay. Sometimes what happens, that subtopic they will perform, but overall they will not perform. And we'll be wondering why exactly this happened. Okay. So these are very, very important aspects of assessments that you have to consider. Now, the reason why we are conducting assessment is for feedback. Okay. So effective feedback is focused on learning outcomes, objectives, or success criteria. Remember, whatever you're doing in your lesson, from prior knowledge, new knowledge, activities, everything finally must lead to the achieving of the learning outcomes, objectives, or success criteria. Okay, this means learners need to know 3 things. Where they are in the learning, what has been learned well, what are the gaps in their learning, where they are to go in the next steps of learning, what specific areas in their learning must be addressed, what they must do to improve their learning, provide guidance on ways to improve their learning. So these 3 are very, very important steps. First is where they were, that is your prior knowledge. Then the new content. Last is assessing, finding where they are and how they can improve further. Okay. Now, in your lesson plan also, these 3 must be related to your learning outcomes, objectives, and success criteria. So anyone has any questions still here? Any questions? Any questions related? Any questions? Sure.
So, ma'am,
Okay.
we can use all these steps throughout our lesson plan
You
of
should be
assessment.
using. You should be using.
Okay. We
You
should
should.
create our lesson plan in such a way that all the steps should be inculcated in
See,
that.
once you are in practice, Rupa, once you are in practice, it comes automatically.
Yes, ma'am.
It comes automatically. Till you are, no, initially it is going to be a struggle, I'm telling you, because we are not used to this. But once you are in practice, you will understand that, oh, I did not check this part with my student, whether they have understood or not. Automatically, you will start testing all those areas which you have left till now. Okay, and it becomes a habit in you once you are in this routine. Okay, so now let us start with the next week's. What is the task? You have to complete your lesson plan. Now, this is your final lesson plan that you are going to make. Okay, the lesson plan for your unit 2. Don't start with your EOL, start with your lesson plan. After completing your lesson plan, share it with your mentor, then share it with me. Once I approve, then you can start writing your EOL. Okay, EOL also will be during after your implementation only you will be submitting. Notes you can collect, but after your implementation of your lesson plan, EOL and EOR you will be submitting together to me. Okay, discuss with your mentor on the agreed areas of observation. Now, this is what is very important. Your agreed focus area must include what is that you are introducing new in your teaching. One point must be on what is that you are going to introduce newly in your teaching practice. For the first time, you are trying out something that must be included. Invite your mentor to observe the class. Make your notes on your learning and your class reflection in your journal. Remember, Unit 2 EOL is 600 words, EOR is 600. Unit 1 was 800, 400. Here it is 600, 600.
Ma'am, for the feedback, for the observing class, I have shared it with my mentor yesterday only. She haven't replied back. Once
Oh,
she does,
Unit
I'll
1 you
share
are
it with
telling,
you.
right?
Yes, ma'am, for
Unit
unit
1.
1.
Okay, no
Yes.
problem.
Once she shares, then I'll share it with you.
Then
When she's
without that, okay, learning I can, but reflection I will not be able to check. Without that reflection, I cannot check.
okay, but I shared EOL and both of them I have shared with you.
Yeah,
Lesson.
your experienced teacher's lesson plan have you shared?
Oh, well, I didn't share that with you, but I have
That,
shared it with her. Once it's shared, then I will share it with you.
okay, that also needs to be there. Your experienced teacher's lesson plan.
Yeah, once my mentor says it's okay to share with you, then or else can I share with you
No,
also?
let her finish no your observation, everything, then you can share it with me. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Any questions till now? Any questions?
Yeah, ma'am, I just asked you regarding the structure that we should write Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, then answer the question.
No, only yellow questions, the learning
And
objective questions.
only new question, then we should combine that both
All
together.
and you have to write the answer. Key questions, that is why I said write the answers for the key questions separately in your reflected journal or in your Word document.
Yes,
Read
yes, yeah,
it,
I have
reframe it,
I
club
have
it
written.
together, put it.
Yes. Okay, okay, understood.
And remember, you will have to write it from your personal point of view. Don't write it from the theoretical point of view. Theory you will be adding as reference. What is
Okay,
your learning from it and how do you connect it with your classrooms is the evidence of learning. After
Yes.
your class, what has happened? What did you reflect? That is why it happened. Where what can be done? That comes under reflection.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Any other questions anyone has? Ma'am, a question. Jeevni ma'am, next week it is mentioned as break. But what I thought is, can we have next week finish of unit 2?
Yes, ma'am, because we were also discussing this with you that because we need if we have next weekend a holiday, then it will be like a new year, and we have a set of holidays then, so we can do this weekend. It will be better if we have a holiday next week because we will have a Christmas holidays also with the New Year holiday.
Ma'am, if
So
all are okay, we can do it that way, ma'am.
Now, all of you have to tell. Because what I felt is, if next week I finish up, unit 2 will be complete. Then taking a break will be better.
Yes,
What do
ma'am.
you
We
say?
could do it, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Next week we should, so that we
Next
can
week,
finish the one part.
21st, we will finish off unit 2.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then
And then
we will
28th will be a break.
break.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
we'll do that. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? So because no other 4 members are not there, we were able to, we were able to wrap up 10 minutes early. So in case you
Earlier,
have any
yes.
Yeah.
questions,
Yeah, ma'am.
because 4 brains, no brainstorming, how many we will brainstorm?
When the session is happening and when we are listening to it, it looks like everything is going inside and everything is clear. But when we are putting it on the paper or when we are
Yes.
documenting it, is when all the questions are popping up. So when you ask the
All
question,
the
any
questions,
doubts?
all the doubts,
Like, no, it's all
all the
clear now.
doubts.
That is
Yes,
the
that's
reason
true.
I
That's
said,
true.
please be aligning along with the sessions. Otherwise,
Yes.
you're going to find it very difficult to complete it
Yes.
later.
Yes.
this
I
time
just
Will
I'm
brought
going
the
to write
same book, ma'am,
everything together now.
in the
Unit 2
you
as
will
well,
in the
really
everything
find
QA.
it
I'll
very
write it
difficult.
down now.
Really
No, you
difficult.
Yeah.
see, Sarah, you
Yes.
completed your unit 1. Unit 1 was not the bigger one. Unit 2, unit 3, when you start, you will understand. So, when you are on par during the classes, you can clarify things.
Yes, I'm writing now for Unit 2. I already started.
Yeah, your
Whatever you're
lesson
telling,
plan is the
I'm just
biggest
writing it
block.
down.
You complete your
Yeah.
lesson plan, everything else falls in place. But unit 2 lesson plan is the biggest one. That you finish off, everything falls in place.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll start working on the lesson plan today itself.
Yours I've got, Sarah. If you can give me the observation one also, I'll finish off. Megas is almost done. Rupa's is also done. Rupa's only
Yes, ma'am.
reflection I have to go through. But I think you
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
correct your
EOS.
observation in certain areas. Okay,
Yes,
that
yes,
you
ma'am.
corrected.
Yes, ma'am. I have done, ma'am. Whatever that you have given in the
No, today
comment, I have
morning I
made the
checked,
changes.
Rupa. Today morning I checked, I've commented. So you just check it.
Okay,
Okay. And
let's check. Okay.
learning also, there is modification that is needed.
Okay, okay. I'll do. I'll do.
Yeah. Megas is almost done. Hers also 1 or 2 comments I have given. So Sarah, yours I will finish it up within 2 days. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. I'll
Because
try my level best. I'll talk to my mentor. If she share it with me, I'll share you
yeah.
immediately.
No, don't see. One thing is you complete from your end.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is the biggest job. I'm telling you, once you
Yeah.
do it, your work is done. Then no mentor review. This will be a process that will be till you're uploading, it will continuously happen. But you
Yes,
finish
ma'am.
it off. That is more important. Yamini, you will have to start it.
I started, ma'am. I've sent it parts and bits of it to my mentor. So we're working on it. I'll get back to you in 2 days.
Yeah.
In 2 days, I'll finish it off.
Okay. Okay. Because the faster you complete, for you it becomes more comfortable. Because one thing I'll tell you, now is not this one. Last, when you read through your own assignments, you feel that you can better it. You need that scope. You have to do it from now.
Yellow learning, yellow Like the first unit itself, I've written the same topic 6 different times. Like I was not happy. Then again, okay, wait, again, then again, then again,
No,
then
it
again.
happens. It
So
happens. That is what I'm saying. So you need a chance to better yourself means you need to finish it up. And the number of times you review your own writing, the better your result will be.
Yes, ma'am. 10 to 12 times I have also rework on that again and again, changing so
You
many
want,
things.
I was not liking only what I was writing. I was so everybody around me started saying, just share it now. Stop doing it. You all are driving us mad. So I was making everyone in my house read also.
No, it happens. It happens. Don't worry. I also did it.
Bhumika ma'am told me that okay, that will be so many times you have to change. So don't
Uh,
worry, that will be changed till the last minute. It will be changing. So you have patience.
so thing is,
She told me
everyone
this.
uses family. Don't worry. I have also done it.
Yes,
So no, that is one way that no, you get the best reviewer at home only because they are the best critics.
yes. I have
They,
showed.
they,
I have showed it at my home also. I have showed
You
them.
don't have any
They agreed.
filters, right?
yes.
Last
See, you tell
weekend
it to
I
your
was under
mentor
that.
also. Sometimes what happens is mentor can, to some extent, tell us in a very polished way. But family, they
Yes,
don't have any filter, right? On the
yes.
face, they will tell. So,
Last weekend I was under that pressure only when I was doing the class. This time I'm finally relaxed and I listened to the class because at least few of them had that, okay, fine, it's bearable. It's
okay.
good to go.
Yeah. Okay, then. I think Shilpa will be sharing the feedback. If
Okay.
it's done, we can call it a day.
Yes,
Yeah.
And ma'am, I
yes,
Yeah.
have even shared a message about next week working and
Yeah.
28th as a holiday so that all of
Yes.
us are
Yes.
aware of it as well.
okay. Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
ma'am.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good day
Thank you,
ahead
ma'am.
then. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye,
Bye.
ma'am.
bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, ma'am.
Mm.